Yeah, Alpha was the second ban after seeing the glaive.
Yeah, 17 seconds.
Well, I don't think that's going to have the same level of appeal for a double CP composition with just the glaive there.
There it is.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so I think that's exactly what Impunity were expecting.
Yeah, well, it makes sense because you wouldn't ban Alpha if you're expecting it to go to the jungle.
Yep.
So now you see another double CP come through, but this time you've got the Finn, but you do need something that I think you do need something that's going to stick here. I think Idris maybe not the ideal. I would actually maybe be tempted to go back towards a Black Feather. I think a Black Feather would work a lot better here into this double CP. But Ringo comes out. Ringo, the first Ringo we've seen of the game to make it work, though. I don't. This is a little bit better at being aggressive. This is a better aggressive composition for the CP ones because you've obviously got that afterburn, which is a little bit longer range than the Impale, and you can pick off targets. But peeling wise, not quite as good.
Yeah, no, I'm with you on that one, X-Scoundrel. Game 3 of this best-of-5 series. It's tied up 1 apiece. Impunity, the reigning Southeast Asian championships of all time. But now Elite 8 are binding their way into this series, going to look to try and challenge that score.
DefQ in lane with Quatrevois. Quatrevois starting with double shielding and minion candy here.
Very
heavy push in the lane.
Yes. They're going to... Well, it's also perhaps to stop the push. There's a lot of siege potential. DefQ takes a huge chunk of damage here as well. Yeah. The minion candy can be used to push or to counter the push that comes out, and since Elite 8 have so much range, I feel like they're going to look to try and push. It's something that we saw them do yesterday against Popeyes. They love to push turrets, they love to siege turrets, and so you get that minion candy, you try and shut it down as soon as possible. Quatrevois gonna come in. Oh, that's a lot of damage onto Hun Jaegers. They're gonna look for the kill. They find it. First blood goes over to DefQ. Anime Sabi should be alright to escape this one, but a nice turnaround, nice play from Impunity.
The reason I like the Finn, by the way, in this double CP composition is the ability to provide shielding stats to your allies, the polite company, the double shielding coming down from Quatrevois. They must have anticipated this in the draft because it's something they have done against double CP before as well. Anime Save Me looking for an afterburn, not the best decision. A lot of damage comes down from DefQ, but here comes Hun Jaegers to the rescue. Drifting Dark and Malice and Verdict will help ward away that Impunity roster. And Spaghetti again farming up pretty heavily here.
He is certainly farming up as heavily as possible. Going to look to try and get those Elder Treants for himself. Official High comes into lane, something that he did very often in his series. Tension Bow first item for DefQ. Definitely a viable pick. Usually...
That's an old school build.
Usually the time you see it in the most recent updates is when you're against a Gwen and you just try and match the Tension Bow power spike. It's a bit interesting in this particular example though. Yeah,
it's a bit of an old school build for Ringo, but obviously Tension Bow hit a little bit of a buff in update 2.4, so it got up to 10% flat armor pierce as opposed to 8%, so it gives you slightly more damage on that initial hit. But this is definitely something that's a bit older in terms of what Ringo used to do. Ringo's maybe about a year and a half ago would go Tension Bow first item and just run away with the early game, kind of win within 8 minutes. So let's see what Impunity have got lined up for us here.
Yeah, it's going to be Spaghetti knocked sideways, but Anime Save Me is the one under fire. The Helo Genesis landing on top of this glaive. Spaghetti looking to put as much pressure down. Official Hind is just off to the side here, but spotted out by Spaghetti there. It means that there's no potential threat really from this Sky.
No. Again, Sky doing heavy prism here, not stacking those crystal bits like we often see a lot of Skies do. Official Hind wants to move very quickly towards his tier 3 item. Could be a Frostburn, like the Frostburn against the Finn. Soaks up a lot of damage, makes it easy to slow him down. You can stack those broken myths later on in the game on him when he is slowed. Hun Jaegers looks like he's working towards Eve of Harvest first, which has been that classic Southeast Asian build. Tends to be their first item of choice on most of their CP carries. Spaghetti also heavy prism working towards a tier 3. I would like to see a Frostburn come out on Spaghetti though. I would like to see that as a difference from last game. I definitely think slowing down the targets, especially for Idris last game, would have been critical. So I really would like to see a Frostburn considered. Double heavy prism though, for Spaghetti, just going for that flat damage right now.
Yeah, no, and considering the fact that his inventory's full, he does have a flare that he can get rid of to open up some slots. He is likely to probably go towards something... You expect Eve of Harvest, right? It's just so standard, but we'll see. Hun Jaegers, wow, so much damage coming out. DefQ, though, it's all been turned on, and Spaghetti is so struggling to escape. A single auto attack will find the kill, but he's too deep under the turret, and Official Hind just will not be able to find it. This is risky, though. Spaghetti getting a bit greedy, wants to heal up on this Treant, and Official Hind could get in there, but cannot. The Treant goes down very quickly, gets the heal, and it means there's no real route for Official Hind to get in. Now Spaghetti can come back into the lane, clear out this wave pretty quickly with the Supernova and make sure this turret is unthreatened.
Impunity again struggling to respect that Samuel's damage output with the Malice and Verdict with the Drifting Dark here. A lot of damage coming down. I think they need to start thinking about countering the Samuel specifically. The damage from DefQ though, that critical strike with Tension Bow, by the way, that's kind of what you see. That first...
He's going... Is that an Aftershock?
Oh,
is he going on hit from DefQ on this
no, Aftershock doesn't build out of...
no, it doesn't build out of Heavy Prism.
It doesn't build out of Heavy Prism, but what he could be going towards is a Shatterglass, and then we have like Burst Ringo, so like Tension Bow for the hit, and then Shatterglass for the ultimate, deals with squishy targets quite well. This is not the time to innovate, boys. This is the time to win games.
This is DefQ being knocked into the turret. Does go very low, and the turret actually finds the kill in the end as well. Jaegers goes very low. The Fountain will keep him alive for now, but Spaghetti is under fire. Forward barrage. That Polite Company keeps him alive. Just about the fortified health coming down. Croix d'Ivoire is just skirting around the edge of this death from above, but Elite 8 starting to take the lead in this game. They are looking to take this turret now. Croix d'Ivoire trying to hold it, but in fact, he is going very low, taken down. Anime saving with the kill credit. Spaghetti comes in, that's going to be a Solar Storm sniping away Jaegers, and should cancel out this turret siege as well. But very curious things. There's a Heavy Prism. He's going Aftershock.
No.
DefQ is going Aftershock.
He's not, because he's got Eclipse Prism and Heavy Prism.
Okay.
Yeah, no, it's confusing. Like you can't really think about where he's going because there's no point thinking about where he's going. We'll just find out when we get there. It's like one of those.
It's a journey.
It's like it's one of those wild rides. We just have to assume that it's a thing. DefQ again overextending. I've got to say, Anime Save Me has been a massive saving grace here for Elite 8. He has been fantastic with those afterburns, instantaneous on the right target every time. Well, you know, if you can't beat him, join him. Double CP. Just with just a Tension Bow added in.
Why not? Why not? It's very curious things coming out of Impunity here, and currently Elite 8 seem to be feeding off this momentum they found. Spaghetti knocked, and that's another kill. Anime Save Me, just MVP so far this game, finding afterburn after afterburn, and the turret's going to fall.
This has been insane from Elite 8. It's like a team renewed. They bring in their sub, the double CP, and if this goes to another game, you know, for 2-1 to Elite 8, I think Impunity have to stop thinking about weird ways to beat Samuel and just pick something that beats Samuel. Like a Black Feather, Attacker, Koshka, which we know Spaghetti has played with great aggression before. You need to go back to basics. You can't afford to keep trying to invent something. This is not inventing time. This is time to play things that win. And I've got to give massive credit to Anime Save Me. He's been fantastic on this glaive. He's already got 2 items. He's got the Crucible there for the Fin already. He has been a pivotal member of this Elite 8 team to find the kills and find the setups where necessary. He's been involved in every single kill so far, and this double CP is something that Elite 8 bringing out here, and it doesn't feel like Impunity actually have an answer for it.
Well, DefQ has gone down that Shadow Glass like you mentioned, so yeah, as you said, if you can't beat them, join them. Let's go double CP. Ourselves, Impunity in trouble though as Spaghetti gets knocked. That's him just going to drop immediately. Great Oblivion puts DefQ asleep, and I feel he's going to struggle to escape. Anime Save Me throws the Fountain out, gets pulled back into turret range, but Croix d'Ivoire cannot really find the return damage necessary to snipe away this glaive.
Need Crucibles, need Reflex Blocks. Those are just free afterburns right now. As soon as someone steps up within afterburn range, Anime Save Me goes in and makes it happen. This is just... this is stuff that... You know, I teach people on YouTube. This is stuff that, you know, if you were getting hit by these afterburns over and over again, you need something to block them. And Croix d'Ivoire doesn't look like he's anywhere close to building to a Crucible. I mean, he's got an Oak-Heart, and then he's got shielding, and then an Hourglass. Spaghetti and DefQ need their own reflex blocks.
Yeah, he's going Contraption on this Fin by the looks of things, Six Scoundrel.
Yeah.
Cooldown reduction, meaning he can put out more shields.
It's just not the right item.
Impunity. Curious scenes. 1,500 gold behind as we speak, Scoundrel, and yeah, no, it is looking very curious. That's going to be an Eve of Harvest complete. Jaegers went down Frostburn before the Eve of Harvest. This is great adaptation coming out of Elite 8 as they're just completely adapting their play styles. The things that have just become norm over the weekend, starting to change things up so that they can have the best chance of finding themselves
Frostburn is excellent though, because it slows down those targets. When they get afterburned in, they get slowed down when they make it into the fray, and suddenly they get pounded by that CP damage. It's just, yes, it's not looking healthy right now for Impunity. Here goes another afterburn.
Yeah, knocks DefQ not quite the right direction. Solar Storm comes out. That's going to be a great pull in. Hunyega's down to half HP, but look at Quatrevoire just melting away. Throws out the Polite Company, the Fountain as well to keep him alive.
Here comes there is a Hellfire Brew for Ringo right now.
Yeah, DefQ, he's running out of energy. He has to throw it now or never, essentially. Official Hein getting pretty close. DefQ down to half HP. Anime Savior coming in. That's Official Hein getting very close, but that Helo Genesis keeps everyone at bay. Quatrevoire, though, he's playing a risky game, and Hunyega's going to show him why. DefQ trying to escape Official Hein's barrage, and he will be able to for now, but here comes the Hellfire Brew. Finally, oh, it's going to hit two! It's going to hit main targets! Burning away Hunyega's, but it's just not enough damage to find the kill into Anime Save Me. I think Hunyega's, nope, he goes down. The burn was enough to find the kill into him.
Yeah, they're going to need their reflex block. Hunyega's has got one, Official Hein has got one, there was a Crucible. Right now, decisions are just better from Elite 8, in my honest opinion. Maybe when we get to late game, this actually works into Impunity's favor, but I think Quatrevoire might be heading towards a reflex block, a Crucible right now, because it is sorely needed. Somebody needs some reflex block, because if Anime Save Me finds anybody out of position, an Afterburn just puts a key target in the firing line, and you can't afford to have that happen. Spaghetti has picked his up. DefQ has been able to maintain enough range that he hasn't been the target. Definitely, I agree with the fact that Spaghetti is more of the crucial target to have that afterburn block on in the form of the reflex block.
Where is DefQ going next? This is an alternating current.
Yeah, this is an alternating current. He's basically playing CP Ringo, but just wanted to have a tension bow for a bit of early game pressure, which they didn't manage to achieve.
Is it that they decided they were going double CP from the beginning, or was it an adaptation that they decided halfway through the game? It seems curious nonetheless.
I think they probably were deciding to have... I mean, I would pick CP Ringo into a double squishy range.
Oh, wow. DefQ gets pushed right on in. They turn that around perfectly from the Forced Accord. Save Me just gets the distance necessary to find that afterburn. It just pulls in the threat. Oblivion flies out, able to dodge it out, but Quatrevoire is just taking so much poke. He has the Fountain available. He's probably going to have to use it very shortly. Here we go. That's going to be Spaghetti in a lot of trouble. Quatrevoire trying to find the return. Has to just be so careful he doesn't catch a Malice to the face.
It's going to be a healing camp steal as well, I think, by Official Hein. He moves through the back there. I think Spaghetti trying to chase him, but Spaghetti's got literally zero energy right now. He'll have to be very careful about how he approaches this. Quatrevoire's trying to catch him out, potentially.
Yeah, it does look like Quatrevoire may be able to get in position. No, the boots pop. Official Hein's
Frostburn
gone.
as well. Frostburn slowed down Quatrevoire here. Still tier 1 boots for Quatrevoire as well, not working towards those war treads to potentially give them ability needed to the team. This is not the Impunity we saw yesterday, Dowsey. I'm almost speechless.
They did that yesterday to us as well.
Yeah, but for the right reasons.
It's a very, very peculiar thing. I'm racking my brain because I want to understand it, because there's definitely thought there. There's an idea there, and I'm trying to understand what that idea may be, so I can...
What idea are you trying to get your hands on?
Impunity's idea of this composition.
So the CP Ringo is good against double squishy range because of how much damage the Hellfire Brew does, right? So then you combine that, but the tension bow doesn't make any sense. That's the thing. I don't understand the tension bow. Maybe it's just a good item for pressure. It does make his auto attacks a little bit more impactful, can shred through a bit of armor. Here comes the pull.
Yeah, Anime Save Me pulled in. Not really the person you want, because he just gets the range on the afterburn. Look at Quatrevoire falling asleep. He's got the Fountain. Going to keep him alive for now. Reflex block comes out, but he is just getting melted, and he just couldn't get that Polite Company out. A kill to Hunyega's, and it's a crucial one as well. The only person really keeping Impunity alive, and instead of a Crucible, goes down an Aegis route.
I mean, to be honest, Finn absolutely destroys. CP Sky just destroys Finn, because the Frostburn makes it so that Finn literally can't move. He just soaks up damage, and DefQ going in here, he's going to walk. He gets isolated by the death from above.
Yeah, but he's doing the damage to Hunyega's, and Hunyega's is so low on energy. Official Heinz gets caught out, but Spaghetti cannot find the kill. Finally does get it. And now DefQ looking for the return as well. Anime Save Me just keeping the distance between DefQ and Hunyega's, and DefQ will be forced to say goodbye to that idea.
War treads there for Anime Save Me. He's already got a lot of it, a movement speed, and DefQ unable to catch up even with the Achilles shot. This is a bit risky to push onto this tier One turret here with, I think, Samuel still alive. He can come up and defend this quite easily. They're going to try and do their best here, but here comes Anime Save Me. He's got the afterburn.
Yeah, and they're going to have to block this one up. Solar Storm comes out from the base. Spaghetti throws that out, and it does dissuade Elite 8 from chasing. Almost at this 15-minute mark, and it's Elite 8 in the driving position. 3,000 gold up as the Kraken going to be joining us on the Halcyon Fold very shortly.
Spaghetti also very delayed in his build path. Now gone for tier 2 builds. Not anywhere near to his 3-item choice here. For a CP Celeste the jungle, that's a really delayed build, and you can see DefQ actually now going towards his own Broken Myth. But I mean, what all Tension Bow has done is like delayed your CP build, which is I don't know, just makes no sense to me, to be honest. Quatrevoir got his own Aegis. That does make sense against double CP, double reflex block. Also can defend as much as possible.
We'll have to see how this one plays out. Like the Aegis on Quatrevoir, it makes sense because the shielding can be distributed.
You can distribute your shielding when you use your Polite Company. That makes perfect sense, but what doesn't make sense is why he hasn't got a Crucible.
We're seeing Spaghetti taking huge chunks of damage here. He's going very low. Here comes Anime Save Me. Quatrevoir is just so far out, and DefQ's under fire. There's no way you can play that game. Quatrevoir has to be next to his carries, or else there's no point having the Finn with tons of shielding to distribute.
They're going to go for the Kraken here. Split up that team from Impunity, and they just don't seem to be able to respond. Again, you have to question. No reflect, no Crucible, nothing to protect from that extra kind of element of the Oblivion that you want to defend against. You want to defend against more afterburns. Quatrevoir tries to potentially make a miracle steal, but you can see how devastating a Frostburn Sky is. This should be Quatrevoir potentially paying with his life. I don't think there's any way he's going to escape this particularly.
The energy. Solar Storm. I think he might be able to. The Solar Storm doesn't hit the Kraken. It could have been a potential steal actually with how low it was, but unfortunate for Impunity. The Kraken does go over to Elite 8.
Elite 8 could be one game away from making the World Finals later this year, and Impunity, the roster that has very rarely lost, if at all lost a final.
Never lost a final. This would be history in Southeast Asia.
Never lost a final, this roster, and yesterday it didn't look like they were going to lose a final. Everybody counted Elite 8 out, including myself. I'll be the first to raise my hands and say Elite 8 didn't look like they had what it takes to beat Impunity, but bringing back in their sub, bringing back in Anime Save Me, the main roster captain, has been so devastating for Impunity and such a revitalization for the Elite 8 roster. DefQ taking damage here, Quatrevoir taking damage, they're forced away, here comes the reflex.
Spaghetti just knocked against the wall. That's going to be putting the silence down onto this Finn. The Kraken now pushing in, and Quatrevoir, he goes so low. DefQ with the Hellfire Brew, but now he's going to pay with his life, and Hunjagus is still alive. They cannot hold down Elite 8. They are looking to take the game here in Game 3 and push themselves to just one more. Spaghetti snipes Hunjagus, looking for more as Quatrevoir provides the brick wall necessary. Spaghetti, can he hit the damage? It does look like Elite 8 are going to disengage. Impunity with a second chance.
They have one more turret remaining in front of that Vein Crystal. There's only 4,000 gold, almost 3,000 gold that separates these two teams right now. If only, the Tension Bow just got sold. What was the point in it? Why did you buy it in the first place? Now 3 items comes through for Spaghetti. He's got the Frostburn, but it's last item Frostburn. That should have been first item in my opinion. And maybe now we're hitting this sort of later game stage. There could be some element that comes together. I would still love to have seen a Crucible for Quatrevoir, but it might be too late for that. Infusions are necessary at this point. Hunjagus and Official Heim, clockwork there for Hunjagus. We saw how much damage output and how much the cooldown reduction affected what he could do with those Malice and Verdict. It's on a 2-second cooldown, and that's not even inside the Drifting Dark. Pull comes through, here we go.
It's Anime Save Me pulled in, not the person you want. You want to find a prime target. DefQ separated. There's no way he gets out of this one alive. He's going to try and lay down the damage, but he eventually goes down. Solar Storm comes through, but a good block comes in, and it means that it just doesn't do the work. Quatrevoir, he's trying to escape. Polite Company to elong his life, but Official Hind is going to just take down the Finn with the Series Strike. It's very, very likely a Scoundrel. Spaghetti going to have to put up a godlike defense.
Absolutely, and Spaghetti has been so disconnected from these fights from Impunity. You look at him, he immediately backs off well out of the range of Heliogenesis, can do nothing in these fights, and Spaghetti's dead as well. This is Elite 8 taking the second game of the series. Elite 8 will find themselves one game away from the world final position and the winners of the Southeast Asian region. How insane is this? How insane is this to see Elite 8 finally prove a challenge up to Impunity?
It's incredible. Look at that. The celebrations. It's celebrations in